I'll go waddled out with a slideshow scan, promising floods and fires, the end of the land. Polar bears drowning, cities under the sea. But here we are, dry as a bone, sipping sweet tea. John Kerry jet setting around the world in his plane, spewing more hot air than a summer hurricane. Ice caps melting, Manhattan underwater by now. What a joke, you lying old cow. None of it happened, not a damn thing they said. Just fear-mongering fools with holes in their head. It's the global warming hoax, climate change con, whatever they're calling it now, it's all wrong. A big fat lie for money and power, you see, sucking our wallets dry, stealing our liberty. From ozone holes to ice ages coming soon. Acid rain melting our faces by noon. Overpopulation starving us all to death. Peak oil running out, taking our last breath. It's all bullcrap, a cult for the left-wing sheep. Religion of fear, but we ain't losing sleep. Remember the ozone hole, gonna fry us alive. Banning hairspray, what a load of jive. Then the coming ice age, freezing us in our tracks. Scientists screaming, but it was all hacks. As it rained, eating statues, killing the trees. But look around now, everything's fine, geez. Starvation from too many mouths to feed. Overpopulation panic, what a dumb creed. DDT killing birds, mass extinction doom. Pesticides wiping out life in the gloom. Oceans dying, dead as Lake Erie, they cried. Fish floating belly up, no place to hide. Y2K bug gonna crash the whole show. Planes falling, banks busting, chaos below. But nothing happens, zip, zero, zilch, nada. Just grifters grabbing grants, living like Rogers. All about control, taxing your every breath. Power hungry elites dancing with death. Now it's climate disruption, fancy new name. Same old scam, playing the blame game. Electric cars force down your throat. Solar panels rusting, windmills a joke. They tax your cow farts, your truck's diesel roar. While they fly private jets, hypocrites to the core. Leftist religion, kneeling at the green altar. Cult of doom, but we won't falter. Predictions flopping like a fish on the dock. But they keep on preaching, tick-tock, tick-tock. It's the global warming hoax, climate change con, whatever they're calling it now, it's all wrong. A big fat lie pigeon of fear, but we ain't losing sleep. Yeah, keep your carbon credits and your electric dreams. We'll stick to the truth, busting at the seams. The sky ain't falling, chicken little crew. This hoax is over. We're done with you. God bless the real world, where facts still win. Y'all can shove your climate cold where the sun don't shine. Sights and sounds
There we go. I got it working just in time to cough. Hello, everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. And I want to welcome everybody to the show tonight. And we've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on tonight. Had a great night at work. Great show with Trey and Kat. And everything was going pretty good there. And so basically, I get home. I got about maybe 45 minutes maybe before this show starts. And it's cool. I was able to catch about 15 minutes of a UFO podcast. And so that was pretty cool. Because it's Podcast UFO. I'm sorry. That's youtube.com at Podcast UFO live shows. But yeah, it was a good show. I love that stuff. If I didn't have to work, I would probably be a regular in their show because I like it. But anyway, there's the link, you guys. So go give them some love. Listen, hey, VTX, what's up, guys? What's up, Victor, Dispatch? Everybody's coming in. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Heath from Georgia, welcome in. Deploribus. Man, everybody's coming in. Thank you guys all for being here tonight. It's been fun. We've got a lot going on tonight, but nothing really huge and breaking, but a lot of really cool stories tonight. I'll tease a few of them real quick here. Some more races won by Trump loyalists. It's going across the country. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a little while. But we've had a number of races where Trump backed someone other than the incumbent because that person was going against him. And in almost every case so far, the Trump challenger has won against the incumbent. So an amazing night. This is an unprecedented time in politics. It's very cool. Severe weather tonight. We've got some severe weather moving across the area here, as always, just north of Austin, Texas. A pretty bad line. Hi, Mama Kitty. There's my co-host. I was wondering where she was. But yeah, right there north and west of Austin, we've got a line of pretty strong thunderstorms. And so far, no tornado warnings on this, but we are watching a number of severe thunderstorms. And then behind it, flood warnings. The yellow boxes are flood warnings. So this is a pretty nasty little storm system. It's moving fairly slow, so it's going to drop a lot of rain. And so it also stretches over here into Louisiana and then on up the Mississippi. And it goes all the way up the Mississippi to about Kentucky. and it kind of runs out up there. There is a little bit further up in the line stretches all the way up, but there's no severe weather up here. All right, so we are going to keep an eye on this tonight, but not one of our main focal points anyway. All right, so right above me, I got Fox News and Fox Weather up. We're just kind of keeping an eye on things until I find other things to fill those holes with. We have the meteor cam up from Northumberland. If you guys see that in the upper right, it's twilight there, and maybe we'll catch a meteor. And also, there's not a lot of live cams on any kind of breaking news or anything tonight. There's no protests. I've done all the normal stuff. There's no volcanoes erupting with live cams. I've done all the normal checking, and so not so much. However, in the upper left, I think that's something you guys might find interesting. And we're going to talk about this coming up here in just a few minutes. This is one of our stories tonight. This is a fully autonomous robot that's been functioning. Am I allowed to call them robots, or do they get mad? Is an android? I don't know. The Helix. This is called the Helix, and it showed that a single neural network could control a humanoid's upper body from pixels. Today, Helix 2 extends that control to the entire robot, walking, manipulating, balancing as one contiguous system. Helix 2 is Figure's most capable, Figure is the company, Figure's most capable humanoid model yet. The single neural system that controls the full body directly from pixels enables dexterous, long horizon autonomy across the entire room. This is just crazy stuff. This thing has onboard sensors all over it, and they're all connected into this highly sophisticated system. All sensors in, all actuators out. Helix 02 connects every onboard sensor, vision, touch, and perception directly to every actuator through the single unified visio-motor neural network. My God, guys, this sounds like Star Trek. Is this Star Trek? Human-like whole body control from human data. All results are enabled by System O, a learned whole body controller trained over 1,000 hours of human motion data and sim to real reinforcement learning. System 0 replaces 109,000 lines of hand-engineered C++ coding with a single neural prior for stable neural motion. This is amazing. I mean, I don't even understand it all completely myself, so don't feel bad. It's a new class of dexterity. They've got sensors. It can feel what it's doing. This thing has been running for weeks or days or weeks. I don't know, a long time. This is live. I think it says on the screen there, 152 hours or some shit. What it's doing, a human normally has to do this. The package needs to be placed with the label down so that when it goes across, it can be scanned. Now, normally you would have to put a human here doing this, but not right now because we've got this robot doing it. And all he does is he separates the items, label down, and push along. That's it. Except he hasn't taken a break in 156 hours. He doesn't need to go home and go to bed and get back up the next morning. He never talks back to his supervisor. All you do is plug him in and pay for a little bit of electricity. Yeah, this is a good one. This is interesting here if you really think about it. This thing, it literally within a year or two, you'll know somebody that has one of these in their home. It's coming. We're right on the cusp. We are literally in not only the birth of AI, but we're also in the founding of advanced robotics. I mean, we're at the point where we're making robots that can run as fast as us, jump as fast as us, climb as fast as us. Already. They're already making them. We're working on things like energy conservation, battery life, better sensors, softer movements and things like that. But the robots are already being built. They're already out there. I think that's kind of a crazy thing. For decades, local manipulation, the ability for a robot to move and manipulate objects as a single continuous behavior, has remained one of robotics' hardest unsolved problems. Not because either capability is hard alone, but because doing both together resists clean decomposition. Lift something and your balance changes. You step forward and your reach changes. Arms and legs constrain each other continuously. Humanoid robots have demonstrated impressive short horizon behavior, like jumping, dancing, yoga, but nearly all share one limitation. They're not truly steerable. Most systems replay motions planned offline with limited feedback. If an object shifts or if the contact unfolds differently, then the behavior will collapse. In other words, it was a programmed behavior. Traditional robotics work around this by separating locomotion and manipulation into distinct controllers. But in this robot, however, it's stitched together. Walking, stopping, stabilize, reach, grasp, walk. These are all handoffs to slow, brittle reason over these handoffs are slow, brittle to reason over and unnatural. True autonomy requires something fundamentally different, a single learning system that reasons over the whole body at once. The system that continuously perceives a system that continuously perceives, decides, and acts, walking while carrying and adjusting balance, while reaching, recovering from mistakes in real time, and then moving on. This is really cool. This is definitely another leap forward in robotics. I would love to have one of these, if nothing else, just for the litter box mostly. But yeah, I think these are awesome. They've got videos on the website of them doing dishes and all kinds of stuff. I'll put a link in here, as I always do, or at least I try to remember. There's the link to their website. I'm going to keep that up there for a while. But if anybody finds any links to anything else, let me know. Now, the other thing is, tonight, I got up this morning and I had 4 hours, and I spent the entire 4 hours working very diligently on the integration of social media. I have resisted this for a long time, but I've decided that I at least need a presence on all the different social medias. So I have gone ahead and I'm going to be paying a service. I think it's called Post Everywhere or something like that. It's $20 a month. I'm still in a trial period if anybody knows something better. But I'm trying to find something where I can manage all of my posts at one time and post things all over the place with one stroke. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And if anybody knows anything about this stuff, please get with me, because I don't, and I need to figure this out. But I spent time this morning, and I got all kinds of our accounts going. I had already started accounts with most of these, and I just haven't been using them. So I got back into everything. I have YouTube for 2 channels. I have Discord, X or Twitter. I have Facebook, which I don't even know how to use anymore, but I'm going to start working on it. I got Instagram, I got LinkedIn, I got Pinterest. And so those are the ones I've got so far. If you want the link to all of those, go to our website. Go to that website right there, starshipadventures.net. And right at the top, you'll see I've been working on the website. The Discord thing's not working in there, and I'm trying to get all this social media integrated with the website. But when you get on the website, you can there's the link to all of them. So if there's a certain one you like, there they are. I eventually hope to find people that want to help me with social media and respond and do different things, but we'll get there one day. Yeah, I'm gonna look for some scanner audio. Um, I haven't even looked out there yet, but we are gonna cover the fire. I was thinking about putting up a feed, but I don't get hits on those normally. But I was thinking about putting up a feed for those fires out there. But we are going to cover those. I've got those coming up. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. So anyway, to finish this up, on the website, which I'm currently working on, when you go there, you'll see there's a few things not working, but pretty much everything is. When you get there, you'll see there's our 7 connections at the top there for all of our different social media sites. I don't like social media that much, but it's a necessity if you're going to do this kind of stuff. All right, so what's going on out there? Well, I posted earlier about an odd-shaped orb photographed over Mexican City. This is that same orb that keeps being seen all over the place. This curious pair of pictures here. Let me see if I can get this to open in a new tab so I can show it to you guys. Oh wait, I've got these already. Hold on. Let me get these. I've got these already downloaded. I forgot. Image output. Huh. All right, let's try this. Okay, there's what it looks like. There's your orb. It's like a silver ball. And a curious pair of pictures from Mexico shows a silver sphere that multiple witnesses reported seeing hovering over a city before departing from the scene. According to a local media report, the intriguing sighting occurred on Saturday morning in the city of Monterey. The 2 pictures of a puzzling orb are snapped by a man who spotted the UFO alongside his young son. The strange silver orb was said to have remained stationary in the sky for several minutes, making no discernible sounds, and then accelerated towards the nearby mountain range. Chillingly, the man who took the photos of the orb indicated that he and his son experienced several headaches after the strange sighting. Since being posted online over the weekend, the photos generated considerable discussion on Mexican social media, from responses largely falling into one of 3 camps. Some suggest the object was an outer-worldly visitor of an alien variety. Conversely, more skeptical observers argued that the UFO was probably something such like a drone or something that was man-made or a balloon. And in the sign of the times, there were others who posited that the images were probably just a fake, made by AI. That said, the Mexican newscaster who received the photos from the witness and first shared them online insisted that they were not a product of digital manipulation. What do you think appeared in the sky over Monterey on Saturday morning? And you guys tell me. I mean, it's... let me see here. You guys tell me what you think it is. I have no idea. Here's the other image. Doesn't really give you much more there. But you guys tell me. I mean... Okay, so enough of that. We've got. So yeah, that was the orb that I wanted to tell you guys about, and that was something we dealt with. I don't know. I don't know what that one is. That one's is definitely a mystery. Donald Trump, guys, he is King Troll. Okay, he is the King Troll, and he has been screwing with the Democrats. Okay. And he has been posting pictures. They're probably pictures that people have sent to him. But he's literally posting pictures to troll the Democrats. And I think it's hilarious because trolling Democrats is fun. I'll admit it. Because a lot of times they haven't taken their Trump and all. But here's one of the pictures he released. He's trolling, dude. You know it's fake. I mean, one of the things says, hey, it looks pretty real. It's hard to tell. But there's something wrong with that truck between Trump and the alien. It's like the front wheel's missing or something. And so there is some anomalies in the picture. So pretty sure it's AI. I mean, come on, it's got to be AI. Let's see. I got another one here. Hi, Mama. Oh, I love it. He's trolling, guys. This is what he does, man. And I think it's hilarious. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to see that. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah. How about JD Vance 2028? Trump-backed Navy SEAL vet delivers major blow to Massie in a fiery GOP primary. Trump called Massie the worst Republican congressman in history. I don't think he's that bad, but he did piss me off. And Hegseth campaigned for Gilleran as race came to close. So basically, what happened is this guy Thomas Massie, Rep. Tom Massie, about to be former Rep. Tom Massie. He's been going against Trump, and this was another one of these revenge tours. I'm telling you, which is fine with me. That's how politics works. This represents a major win for Trump's political operation and for pro-Israel allied groups who spent aggressively to unseat this lawmaker. I don't know. Massie, his problem is he's a perfectionist. And if the bill's not perfect, he won't vote for it. Well, sometimes you got to hold your nose and vote for shit because it's better than the other pile of shit, which is 4 times bigger. Hey, Noble. I don't know. I exist, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, it's because Massie went against Donald Trump. That's the bottom line. I don't think it. I mean, some of the money came from there, but that's the bottom line. Every time Trump endorses somebody, pretty much they get the job, even against the incumbent. So that tells you that the support for Donald Trump is still pretty strong out there. We've got to get this Iran war behind us, though. Once we get that behind us with the redistricting, I think we're going to be sitting pretty. But we got to get that done. All right, the next thing I want to talk about tonight is Trump is going to release a second batch of UFO files. And one of the lawmakers that has seen this batch of files says, get ready, it's going to be a, quote, holy crap moment. I don't want to hype this too high, but this sounds like it could get really interesting. I told you they're not going to give the good stuff out on the first batch. The first batch is to warm us up a little bit. A lot of what was in the first batch was shit that we kind of already knew, but was never confirmed by the government. Gemini 7, some of the other Apollo missions, we knew. I mean, Buzz had come out a couple times and told us about it, and then he kind of recanted, but we knew it happened, and we knew that these things happened, and so they confirmed it. What they confirmed to me was that they had been lying to us for 60 years. That's what they confirmed. But anyway, the release is part of Trump's Pursue program, which followed a batch of never-before-seen UAP files that were released back on May 8th. The Trump administration is expected to release a second wave of unidentified anomalous phenomenon files, with officials teasing the next batch of UFO files will be made public very soon. Chief Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell announced Monday in a social media post that the declassified documents are actively being processed for publication, adding that there will be more to come very soon. The promise comes on the heels of federal officials releasing of never-before-seen files and videos related to UAPs earlier this month in an effort to increase transparency surrounding the government's knowledge of these otherworldly or other dimensionally or other temporal phenomenon. Rep. Tim Burchett, Republican Tennessee, an outspoken supporter of the disclosure movement, teased the reveal after the initial May 8th release. The first drop will be big, but in comparison to what is coming, they will be a drop in the bucket, Burchett said. I would say holy crap is coming. Earlier this week, President Donald Trump shared an AI-generated image of himself walking alongside a handcuffed alien while flanked by security at a military base. Another AI-generated image depicted Trump behind the controls of a spaceship as other spaceships are destroyed in the background. The ongoing release of declassified files is part of Trump's presidential unsealing and reporting system for UAPs called Pursue, P-U-R-S-U-E program. Photos from the first of what is expected to be a series of releases shows strangely shaped objects captured on film during both the Apollo 12 and the Apollo 17 missions. Another photo taken from the moon's surface appears to show a grouping of 3 small dots in the sky with a transcript of communications. We've already gone through all that. Now we've got a few very bright particles and fragments. That was another one we talked about. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I'll be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files. Trump did it, guys. This is it. This is disclosure. Within the next few weeks, we're going to get another batch. I think we're going to get a bigger batch. Thank you, Jungle. Thank you, Jungle, for that membership. I appreciate that. And Noble, you just got a 1-month membership from Jungle. Thank you very much, Jungle. I appreciate that. All right, so let's see where we're at here. There you go. We are in the midst of disclosure, ladies and gentlemen. I've waited my whole life for this. There's certain things that you kind of wait your whole life for, and this is one of them. A lot of people said we'll never know, and I still think there'll be some things we'll never know. But at least this is all a step in the right direction. Big, huge moon steps in the right direction. I agree with you, VTX. I do. I don't like assuming. Fire of the Phoenix, thank you for joining the crew. Welcome aboard. Yeah, I don't like. I don't really like the whole they've got to be evil, they've got to be devils, they've got to be. No, I don't think so. First of all, here, if they're evil, they would have wiped their ass with us by now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you think they're evil, horrible, disgusting devils? Really? Because they treat us pretty good, considering they literally could go and we'd be gone. So I don't buy for a minute that they're devils. I think they're just another of God's creatures. Why do we have to worry about religion? There can be gray aliens, and it has nothing to do with Jesus. It doesn't have to. That's why I just don't understand why religious people balk at this whole alien thing. Just give it a rest. They're not coming after religion. I really don't see it as anything that threatens religion. All right? If you truly believe that that everything is God's creature, then accept these aliens as God's creatures, just like we are. I don't understand it. And you're right, VTX, these people that are constantly, they're instruments of the devil. No, they're not, because they've got 200 years advanced technology over us, and they haven't wiped us off the earth yet. Well, VTX, deciding for ourselves what it is part of the fun. That's part of what this show does, and all these other shows, and also Podcast UFO, which just ended a few minutes ago. So, I mean, I'm not going to stop trying to figure out what it is. I don't like when people act like they know what it is when they don't know what it is. I agree with you there. These people, they'll come on, this is this, and this is that. You don't know that. We're assuming everything here. So we have to keep an open mind and not just assume that because you think something's right that everybody else is stupid. Probably, Matt, it could be 200 years. I used to think it was 300 or 400, but when I've seen the advancements of humans in computing over the last 100 years, I've changed my mind. I'm going to be honest with you. I study this stuff. I consider myself somewhat of an amateur futurist. And I actually love to think about and ponder and try to figure out what's going to happen in the future. And I used to think that these gray aliens were 300 to 500 years ahead of us. But when I see how far we've come just in 100 years, I mean, we went from rudimentary machines using mechanics to create calculations all the way through vacuum technology, all the way through solid state technology, all the way through microtechnology, and now we are creating our own artificial intelligence that now fights us when we try to turn it off. If we can do that in 100 years, it could be 200 or 300 years. Maybe not as much as I originally thought. What do you guys think on that? But no, I know what you mean, VTX. Yeah, exactly. Everybody needs to stop pretending like they know what's going on, because nobody knows what's going on. Yeah. There was a Next Gen episode where they found a sentient life in a silicon life, and when they figured out a way to hook the translator up, it called us big bags of water. And that's literally what the translation was. We were big bags of water. Because if you think about it, if you were a different kind of life form, say a life form that works more like a computer chip or something, you would look at us and go, my God, it's just a big bag of water walking around. So guilty until proven innocent, John? Guilty until proven innocent, number one. That's wrong. I don't like that. They haven't done anything evil to us. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people that believe that they've prevented calamities. There's a lot of people that believe that these aliens have intervened and have prevented horrible things from happening. Now, I don't know if I believe that, but there's a lot of people that do, so that weighs on my opinion. But I also know that these things, like I just said, have a technology that's 200 to 500 years. Who knows? they could have wiped us out instantly. So why would I automatically assume something that has the ability to kill me in an instant is evil? Because if it was evil, it would kill me in an instant. That's why it doesn't, it's a non sequitur. It doesn't add up. I'm sorry. VTX, we think just alike, man. I think you were typing it while I was saying it. Data agreed with the big bags of water. I forget the name of that episode. It was the first couple of 3 seasons. It was the little blinking lights down the tube. It wasn't the first time. You know, we also had the exocomps in a different episode. And then we also had, of course, those were both episodes where they found sentient life and they had to deal with it as such. Of course, the same thing happened also in the one where they court-martialed Data, trying to make him property. Hey, Heath. Yeah, the last thing we'll know, the very last piece of information that we'll ever find out is who actually visited Epstein Island. I completely agree. It is a dead issue because neither side will address it, and I blame them both. I blame them all. That doesn't mean I think that Trump's in it. That doesn't mean that I attribute it to a specific country or a specific organization. But I'm telling you, there was a lot of shit going on there that we don't understand or know about. And whatever it is, it's big enough that that nobody will cross it. Nobody. So there you go. Okay. Yeah, the measure of a man is the one where Data's court case. Yeah. By the way, that's one of my. It's an earlier one. It's a little cheesy, but they improved the music and the writing and stuff by the 3rd season. But that one was a really good episode because it gave us what we're kind of using today: intelligence and self-awareness, consciousness. If it has all 3 of those, then it's alive, and you must respect it, and it must get rights. Yes. Well, the deploribus, that's exactly why when people say, look, now Trump won't release it. Trump said he was going to release it. This is like the only campaign promise that was kind of kept, but kind of not. They did release 26,000 files or some shit. They did. There's been another big release a while back. It was like 26,000 files or some shit. So they are releasing it, but they're not releasing it all. And I completely agree. So he did release a lot of it, but he didn't release a lot of it. So I don't know. There's got to be some crazy shit in there or something. Well, I don't know how you can be skeptical about these craft that we're seeing. Now, you may not think they're alien. A lot of people think that they are extra-dimensional, extratemporal, or extraterrestrial. We don't know. It's one of those 3 scenarios. They're from another dimension, another time, or another place. They have to be. They're either us from the future or a past us from the past. Because this is not the first time that technology sprung up on this blue ball, I got to tell you. Is it extra-dimensional? Like we were talking about pulling energy out of subspace? Well, that means there must be something there. I don't know. The whole thing, I think that extra-dimensional is quite probable, considering how difficult extraterrestrial is. But then again, what we consider difficult today, remember the whole folding paper theory, folding space? What we think is difficult today in 100 years may be not difficult at all. You have to remember, from this point forward, this is big. From this point forward, we have artificial intelligence. Instead of one doctor working on the cure, we've got 1,000 doctors working on the cure. Instead of one brain trying to figure out the math, we've got 10,000 brains figuring out the math. And this grows exponentially. Our AI is doubling its ability about every 10 months. Exponential growth in 10 months. We used to get exponential growth in 18 months, 24 months with computers, 36 months earlier on. My God. This is crazy. AI is gone nuts. It's everything. I'm learning it. I'm trying to stay on top of it right now. I'm building AI apps with AI. Yes, Sanguine, I think that's why a lot of times we don't see them better, because I don't think they want to be seen at all. I think the only time we see them is when there's a failure of their cloaking technology. I think sometimes they get in the wrong phase or something, and we can see them. I also know that this new radar that the military is using is actually something that I think's a pickle for them to deal with. All right, still just a severe thunderstorm warning there. This is for, now this includes all of the Austin Metro, and they just issued a mesoscale discussion. This could get interesting here. Coming into Austin, Texas, Round Rock is getting it now. Georgetown, Round Rock, getting a pretty heavy dose. Let's get into the local radar and take a look at this thing. I don't see a lot of rotation. A little suspicious here, but probably nothing. Let's go ahead and go to the actual reflectivity here. It's just a really strong thunderstorm, but this will be affecting Austin, Texas. Here it comes. Yeah, and that reminds me, we've been talking about what we're going to be doing on certain nights. Coming up, we are going to have, I'm going to be doing some things. I don't know if people are going to like it or not, but there's certain things. On the 4th of July, I'm going to be here and I will be live. We're going to do a special expanded show that night. Let me see what. July 4th is a Saturday this year. Freaking perfect. That's awesome. I will be coming on probably at 8 instead of 9 that night. I don't know for sure yet, but I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff that night. We're going to be telling patriotic stories. We're going to be covering fireworks displays all over the country, and we're going to. It's going to be a fun night, and it's going to be a very patriotic night. I'm going to have new music. It's going to be amazing. So be prepared for that. Also, coming up, Star Trek Day, September 9th. I will be doing a special show that night. I'm pretty sure it's September 9th. I don't know why for some reason that doesn't sound right, but I think it is. September 9th. It's a Wednesday. But I'm going to do a special show that night. The entire show will be devoted to Star Trek unless there's breaking news. And I'm going to tell you guys all about some different things, all about Star Trek. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to deep dive a topic, probably the topic I know more about than any other topic known to man. And we're going to deep dive Star Trek. That's September 9th. It will be 60 years since the very first episode aired on NBC back September 9th, 1966, I think it was. Yeah, whatever. And so this is a really cool thing because we're now at 2026. It's 60 years. It's amazing. And then 9/11's coming up, and I'm going to, on 9/11, I will have a special show that night that's going to focus on that. I'm not going to discuss conspiracy theories. I'm going to discuss personal stories. I've got about 10 different stories that I know of people, of friends of mine that were there that day that I've heard over the years. And my personal story, which is nothing, but I'm going to tell it because we tried to go there and they wouldn't take us because they had 100,000 firefighters that had signed up and they only needed like 1,000. So needless to say, none of us from only I think 2 people that were very qualified in very specific areas were actually taken. But we're going to talk about all that. I'm going to have video. I got all kinds of stuff from that day. We're going to talk about the timeline. I'm going to show you guys the first alerts that went out over the air that morning. And we will. It's going to be emotional. I'm going to do it. It's 25 years ago, this coming September 11th, all this happened. And so we're gonna hit it hard. Anyway, so those are 3 shows that I know of coming up that we are dedicating to single issues. And I'm really looking forward to that July 4th show. It's going to be on a Saturday. I may even come on earlier. If there's views and stuff going on, I'm just going to come on and stay on. Oh, September 8th. Yeah. Remind me of that, Dom. Yeah, if you guys have never read about the Great Galveston Storm of 1900, anytime Al Gore or any of them try to tell you that hurricanes weren't big back then like they are today, you go tell all those dead nuns in Galveston in 1900. The Great Galveston Storm of 1900. They didn't name them back then, by the way. That's why they call it that. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed here. Mama, what are you doing tonight? You got my news channel all screwed up. It's supposed to be on Gutfeld. I usually always have, she's got both my monitors up here all screwed up. Hello, everybody. Give you a view of what's going on. Say hi, Mama. They can see your crotch because you got your legs open. Yeah. Oh, you're going to lick it right for them? That's awesome. But yeah, anyway, this is Starship Studios. My name is Ian. Let's do a quick reset here. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock on the left coast, 9 o'clock in Timpon Timland. And we are on tonight live out of North Fort Myers, Florida, broadcasting on YouTube worldwide on the world's largest broadcast platform. And we're broadcasting through a little thin piece of glass all the way from right here to the internet. And thank you, everybody, for being here with us tonight. We are on every night at 9 p.m. here for a multi-screen broadcast covering the sights and sounds of Earth. Let's see here. Mama Bleep. They're talking to you. You don't even read the chat room anymore. Yep. Yeah, global warming. What a lie that was. What a great thing that happened this week. The UN's Global Warming Council has now officially said that their predictions were wrong and they're not going to happen. course, that was pretty obvious when Al Gore's dumbass said there'll be water running through the streets during a high tide in Miami. Al Gore, you're full of shit. You and your butt buddy, John Kerry. Well, life's shortwave, I tend to agree. This is my birth state as well as where I currently live and where I've always lived. Now, I own a cabin up in Georgia, in North Georgia, up in the mountains at about 3,000 feet. But I definitely consider Florida home. I love it here. The heat is terrible. The tourist traffic in the winter is even worse. But that's okay. We're a free state. We're working on some things, but we're a free state and we're doing good down here. Yeah, this whole this entire global warming thing, I'm not going to go through it again tonight because I've done it. They've predicted 20, 30, 40 global calamities over the last 100 years, and none of them have happened. In fact, none of them have even really started to happen. Acid rain, hole in the ozone layer, global cooling, climate disruption, global warming, tidal rise, ice melt. None of it's happened. They said that the polar caps would be ice-free 12 years ago. Never happened. Never happened. It's growing. More ice up there. Yeah, well, we've come a long way in in forecasting. Back then, the only way you would know something's coming is if a ship would survive it and then get somewhere to get the message to you somehow. It was pretty rudimentary back then, but there was people that tried to let them know. Hey, they were testing this new thing called radar, and they saw the Japanese coming. But nobody believed them because this shit was untested and it didn't work right and it was always giving false shadows. But we saw them coming. But someone shit all over it and didn't go check. I do agree. I do agree. Earth is our home and we should treat it well, and we do. The neat thing about Earth is it adapts. It adapts to whatever's going on. CO2 goes up, that's great. CO2 goes down, that's great. I think that's why all the models that they kept running, all this information, all this bad news, oh my God, it's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. And nothing happened. Why? Because the Earth moderates itself. The Earth understands. That's why we take all the oil out of a hole. We cap the hole. We come back 10 years later, hole's full of oil again. This Earth is it's a machine, man. And it's constantly running down the tracks. And if you throw something in there it doesn't like, it finds a way around it. You know, there's actually a lot of scientists now coming out and saying more carbon is better in the atmosphere. And that 1 degree of warmth would actually help us in the future. It would help us. 1 degree over the next 100 years would actually help us. Although I don't think there's actually any warming that's actually happening. See, in order to go down the rabbit hole of climate change or global warming, you have to first assume that these people know what they're talking about. And remember, the last 27 calamities they told you were going to happen never happened, never started happening, never even kind of happened. Number 2, you have to believe that the outcome of the calamity in this case, climate disruption, global warming, you have to believe that they know it's happening and that the outcome will be such that it will be worse than it is today. That's the second big assumption. And then the third big assumption is you have to assume that we could do something about it. You have to assume that we could actually change something, that we could actually make a big enough change in the way we live our daily lives to change the planet's temperature. That's a stretch, and they got over half the people believing this shit, lock, stock, and barrel. And now that it's all coming down around them, you still got people out there saying, no, it's global warming, it's going to kill us all. Still. My God, that's what indoctrination does. Because for the last 25 years, these kids went through school with their teachers telling them, global warming's a phenomenon that's going to kill your children. Global warming's going to make it to where we can't live on the planet no more. And they were taught this in school. So now when they hear you talking about how it's all just a big hoax, none of it happened, it's a non sequitur in their brain because their teachers taught them this for 12 freaking years. It's in the books. It's in the handouts. It's on the homework. It's part of the indoctrination cycle. And so they have to believe it. They have to believe it. And if you don't believe it, then you're the one messing up. Wow, Austin, you're about to get clobbered. This is coming into Austin proper. I can't believe there's no cameras there. Let me look somewhere quick here. I've noticed lately all the webcams are down. I don't know. It seems like there's just so many. I guess people have quit maintaining them or something. I don't know. Kind of crazy. All right, don't look too bad. All right. Anyway, all right, let's keep pushing ahead here. Let's see what we got next on the agenda. Panda Express. You guys have ate at Panda Express? Everybody I know hates Panda Express, so I only get to eat there when I'm by myself. It's cheap Chinese food, but it's not bad. Panda Express. Anyway, Panda Express worker called police over MAGA hat. Chris Sims says he gave a thumbs up to a cook who was staring at him inside the Washington State location. A conservative vlogger claims Panda Express employees called the police on him after he wore a MAGA hat and gave a thumbs up gesture to the cook inside the Washington State restaurant. Panda Express kicked out at Daniel Rebel 333 and myself out of for wearing a MAGA hat and for giving the thumbs up to the cook that just stood and stared at me the whole time because of my hat. This according to vlogger Chris Sims. This happened on May 11th. I asked if there was an issue and the cook said, "Yo hat." So I asked if he supported it, and Mama, you're right in the way. And he proceeded to call the police and falsely say that we were refusing to leave. I left the store and stood on the sidewalk, and multiple employees came out to intimidate me to leave and stop filming on a public sidewalk. The police informed the staff that we did nothing wrong. The woman who called 911 cried and walked back into the building. No crime, no disturbance, just a hat and a thumbs up. This is blatant political discrimination. Panda Express should be ashamed of themselves and hold their employees to the higher standard. I agree. Employees that respond negatively to political stuff, you know, if you've got a MAGA shirt or a MAGA hat on, and your employees treat that customer bad, you need to fire that employee. And I would say the same thing if they're wearing a Biden shirt. All right, if they're wearing a Biden shirt that maybe says something like, you know, senility is great, or maybe something that says, my favorite president, the auto pin. But even if it's a Biden shirt, if it's let's say it's a camel toe Harris shirt, doesn't matter. I would say the same thing. My employees are going to treat my customers properly. And I'm sure Panda Express, being a fairly large corporation, I have a funny feeling they're going to take care of this. Let's see if, is there any more in here? A statement to Fox Digital, a Panda Restaurant Group spokesman acknowledged the incident and said, we want everyone who walks into Panda Express to feel welcome. Employees, you a lot of times in these big companies, you will get yourself fired if you pull shit like this. The spokesperson said, we have been reviewing the details and understand the situation was handled and addressed at the restaurant level. We've reinforced to all of our associates the importance of delivering consistent, welcoming experience for every one of our guests. Mama, let me do the mousing, because, baby, you're no good at it. Yeah, you really need a thumb to mouse. The City of Lakewood Police Department confirmed to Fox News Digital that the incident occurred on May 10th. Law enforcement had a conversation outside with the streamers and confirmed that they did not do anything wrong and that the behavior of the Panda Express employees would need to be addressed by, it wasn't a legal issue that needs to be addressed by the restaurant, basically. Fox News Digital reached out to Danny Rebel and Chris Sims for comment, but they did not immediately return comment back to Fox News Digital. Okay, so there you go. That's, is this still going on? I mean, do you remember the Jesse Smollett bullshit? Where he went to Subway at 1 o'clock in the morning when it was minus 12 degrees outside, and he's walking back to his place where he lives, and he says two MAGA guys attacked him. Come to find out, he paid these two guys to attack him so he could get his name in the paper. Scumbag. And he said they were wearing MAGA hats. Jesse Smollett, I don't care how much time has passed, you're still a glorious scumbag. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much it. That's that for that story. Okay, the next thing. The Sandy Fire burns hundreds of acres in Southern California. Here we go again. Why do these big fires burn in California? Why? Is it just that they have bad luck? No, it's because those assholes don't manage their forests, okay? That's the bottom line. Take it from somebody, okay, that was a career firefighter here and retired from the fire service, and someone who was on the forestry overhead team and specialized in forestry firefighting. They don't manage their forests. That's the problem. We don't want to hurt the animals by burning the forest. If you low burn the forest, the animals mostly don't die. But if you wait 20 years and the forest gets so damn thick that now when it burns, it rages 25 feet, everything dies. Every snake, every squirrel, every aardvark, everything dies, okay? Because you didn't maintain your forests. How do they keep starting? Funny you asked. It's because they didn't maintain their electrical grid. Most of the time, these fires are started by idiots that are burning, idiots that are mowing, or idiots because they didn't put the power lines up right. Those are the three reasons they always start. Okay, so you're sitting in your house. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, the humidity's about like -3% outside. Okay, all right. It's so dry you can't smoke a cigarette outside. All right, and you got the Santa Ana winds coming over the top of the hill at 45 miles an hour. Hey, I'm gonna go mow that field. Hey, I'm gonna go start a campfire. Hey, the electrical lines, they're sparking, and they've created this. It's their own monster out there. California, this is your fault. And I'm not blaming individuals, of course, but this is California's management and government's fault. They don't manage their forests. They don't have a sufficient water supply. They don't properly regulate and manage their electrical grid. So when you start adding these three factors, these three components, when you start adding these things up, what you end up with is radically crazy fires that end up burning thousands of homes down. And then the assholes won't give you a permit to build it back. Deploribus, you're correct. The hotter the fire burns, the more life it kills. And that goes all the way down to the bacteria. That goes all the way down to the seeds. That goes all the way down in what they call the duff and the substrate underneath the actual dirt. You know, down a few inches in the dirt. You have living things down there, worms and bacteria and all kinds of things that need to be there for the forest to return. If that fire gets so hot, because those forests have not been burned in 20 years. That fire gets so hot because of those Santa Ana winds that it kills everything. And it makes it a very even though the soil will be enriched by all the carbon, the ash and the soot actually enrich the soil. That's a positive. But everything else is negative. And it will take a very long time for that forest to regrow. And it may take 100 years for it to fully repopulate. And it's all because they failed to maintain their forests. Ventura County Fire Department says the blaze broke out around 10:50 this morning and is threatening nearby structures. The fast-moving brush fire prompted officials to issue evacuation orders in Southern California. This was yesterday. The Sandy fire broke out about 10:50 a.m. yesterday, according to the Ventura County Fire Department. Air tankers and mutual aid have been requested to help battle the flames. As of late yesterday, the brush fire was estimated at more than 800 acres. Now, I do have CAL FIRE here somewhere. Let me see. I'll just pull it up. I've got so much going on up here that I'm like, the tabs are like scrolling across now. All right, so CAL FIRE, active fires. Here, let's put this over here so you guys can see it. I'll work from here. Okay, here's what we're looking at. This is from CAL FIRE. And you can see here, there is a fire up there east of Salinas. There's a plane working that one now. Other than that, there's nothing north of that. Nothing north of San Jose. But the big fire we're talking about here, I think, is this one here, the river fire. I think this is the biggest one we're dealing with right now. 3,535 acres. That's come up quite a bit today. There's another one here, the wood fire down by Caliente. You know how I learned how to pronounce all the names in California on Chips? Watching Chips. I used to love that show. The cop show where they never shot anybody. It was kind of an oddity. Look at this. This is The red are evacuation areas. The yellow are standby. Okay, so anybody in the red area, you are under an order, and there's the order number. And then the warning numbers are all there too. I'll tell you, one thing I will admit, Cal Fire they've been, because they're so screwed up out there, and they've screwed themselves over so bad. But all these fires they've got great websites and great resources and stuff because they do so much of this. Yeah, I guess it would be. Well, good old Bukkake, we have the technology. We have all the way since the $6 million man. We have the technology. I mean, they're out of water because the government didn't keep up. The forests are burning because the government didn't keep up. The power is sparking because the government didn't keep up. That's the bottom line. The government there has completely failed the people. And then when the fire does happen, the government completely fails the people again. So that's the other big one right there. And then these are all smaller ones. There's another one down here by the national line. There's Tijuana. This is the Tussle fire. 1,000 acres. They got a couple of planes working this one. And they have issued some evacuation orders there. When you look at these orders, they look strange. Like, why would they issue an order that's all weird? Well, you got to remember, we're dealing with mountain roads and elevation and things like that. These are mountainous areas. Bill Bixby, yeah. You got my reference. Yeah. Bill Bixby, the Hulk. I used to watch Incredible Hulk, $6 Million Man, The Bionic Woman. I wasn't as much into the superhero stuff, but those ones there I liked because it was kind of technology, you know, especially the $6 Million Man was kind of cool. I don't know of any big protests. If you guys know of anything, let me know. I'm not aware of any, all right. Yeah, so that's what's going on out there with these fires. I'm going to, if we get one that becomes crazy big, like we had before, or it's up into a big area, then I will go ahead and I'm going to put up a channel for that, and I'll let everybody know. All right, and guys, just to let everybody know, I got our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our TikTok. I got all those different accounts working. No, not TikTok. I didn't get TikTok because you have to download an app and do it on the app, and I don't do things on apps. I hate doing anything on my phone besides making a phone call. So when they tell me I have to do it on the app and I can't do it on the computer, that's a no-go for me. That's just stupid. All right. Let's see what else we got. Like I said, I got my LinkedIn account. I put a really nice banner. I had AI make some really cool banners that kind of match what we do here. And I got, like I said, my LinkedIn profile's all done. The Facebook's all done. Pinterest, I'm on there. And I've got it set up to where I can put in short messages and it will cross post. It won't cross post on YouTube community. So what I'm going to do is put the article on YouTube community and then just link everything else back to that is how I'm going to do it. It's still a 2 or 3 step, but at least this way I can list it on StarShip Adventures and StarShip After Dark. Then I have to go over to Discord and do it manually because none of these services will do Discord. So I have to do Discord manually. So this really isn't saving me any time, but what it is going to do is allow me to send to about 6 other social media pages out there that I wasn't getting them out to before. So I'm not saving any time on this one, but I'm gaining ground because I'm going to be posting in LinkedIn and Pinterest and Facebook and X and all these other places that I haven't been regularly posting. And then I'm going to get back into doing shorts again before long. I want to start doing a couple of shorts after each night's show. I'm having a hard time finding a good service. I've tried 3 different services and they're all shit. They all take forever to get the stuff formatted right. Yeah, I didn't care what name brand was on my jeans. I cared if they were comfortable. I don't wear jeans. I don't own a single pair of jeans. I don't like clothes at all. Yeah, I wear underwear only because I don't like things getting pinched in my pants. But the truth is, I don't like wearing clothes at all. I wear like slacks. They're softer, and they look better. I can wear them at work. I can wear them anywhere else. But I don't even own jeans. I haven't owned a pair of jeans in 30 years. I don't like them. They're not comfortable at all. I can't believe people are like, oh, these jeans are so comfortable. I'm like, how can denim be comfortable? You know, it's like putting on some sandpaper or something, and then it doesn't twist, it doesn't shout. I'm sorry, I don't like jeans. I don't care that you guys like them. I think it's awesome. I just don't like them. I like slacks. And when I'm home, I just wear this little pair of black shorts because I just don't like a bunch of clothes. Yeah, Singwin, I don't do social media much, but I'm going to really try to. I'm going to try to start. I can't wear boxers. Why bother? Boxers are just, they get all bunched up in your pants. I don't understand boxers. If you're going to wear underwear, at least, I mean, it's basically a ball bra. And, you know, you might as well use it for what it is. It's a bra that holds up your balls. I like it. Everything gets to stay laced the way it's supposed to be. And then when you sit down, you're not like, you don't have like stuff where it's not supposed to be. And, you know, you get ball roll and things like that. I don't like all that. So if I have to wear clothes, I will wear tighty whities because I just don't want all the bunch up. Boxers don't do anything. Boxer briefs don't seem to work. They're like the worst of both worlds. Yeah, with Dispatch, if I had to wear pants and no one was ever going to see me, they would be sleep pants or running pants. You're absolutely correct. And I do have a pair of those, of each of those. I've got 3 or 4 pairs of night pants, which I don't wear unless I'm up at the cabin and it's 8 degrees outside. Then I'll probably put those on. Yeah. I never liked shorts. I never wore shorts. I never liked shorts. And living in Florida, that's been difficult. But about 20 years ago, I just got to the point where I hated clothes and I hated shorts and I hated everything. And I started wearing a lot more shorts, getting nice, comfortable shorts. And so that's I wear anytime I'm not going to work now. I wear shorts. No, I'm not doing OnlyFans. It's not my style. You can not like clothes, but not necessarily want to start an OnlyFans account. uh, yeah, but see, when your balls have that much freedom, they get in trouble. They go where they're not supposed to go, and you know. Yeah, even when I'm at my cabin, I just wear my shorts. If the house needs to be warmer, I like to cover up with blankets. I love to bundle up under blankets, but I don't want to wear a bunch of clothes. I just want to bundle up under the blankets. Um, yeah, man, we walk around the mall. I take mom on walks around the mall, and I see things in there like, oh, my mom's like, oh, look at those really nice sleep pants over there. I need some sleep pants. Now, we don't normally shop because we don't buy things at the mall traditionally. It's expensive. But if she wants to look, we go look, and every now and then she buys herself something. So we walked over there, and she's like, wow, these are really nice. They're 75% off. I was like, yeah, they're 75% off $100. So you get these at Walmart for $10. I don't know that we go to the mall and sometimes we're like the only people in the whole store except the employees, and it's like the whole mall thing is just starting to fail. And part of it is because you can just get things so much cheaper anywhere else. I can buy sleep pants for $5 a pair on Amazon. I can get them all day long for $7 or $10 a pair at Walmart. But yet I have to look for a really good sale to get them for $25 at the mall. Now, is the material a little better? Is the ones in the mall a little nicer? Probably, but they're just sleep pants. They get a hole and throw them out. Ain't no big deal, you know. I don't wear sleep pants, but I'm just using that as an example. I think I had Spider-Man pajamas. I do believe. Yeah, I don't like shirts that are up around my neck. If you guys see my t-shirts, they all have stretched out necks. I prefer V-necks. If I can get a V-neck, I'll buy a V-neck. I also really like these collared shirts that I wear to work. I buy these all day long at Walmart for $10 a piece. They're like dress shirts. They're nice. And I've probably got no less than 15 of these different styled colored shirts. What's wrong, Mama? What happened? Did you get something to eat? Mama? I'm probably the only person in the world that has cats named Mama and Daddy. uh, yep, I like slacks. Call it a day. No. No, I don't know. I will admit, in the day, I did really enjoy dressing up, like for the honor guard and stuff at the fire department. We had the jackets and the gloves and the whole bit, and I miss that. I like dressing up. I don't mind being uncomfortable if we're dressing up for honor's sake and like that. I liked it. I used to dress up every year for our awards ceremony. I emceed our award. You can imagine. I emceed our award ceremony. I think for 16 or 17 different years, and I always wore my Class A uniform, you know, my hat, the whole bit. I love it. I still got my jacket in there, my hat, my badges. I still have everything. Because over the years, we were a smaller department. I bought all the shit. They would issue me one badge and a few shirts, and then I go buy the rest. So when I left, I kept it all. It's my shit. I turned in a bunch too, but yeah, mama kitties are a dime a dozen, but see, cat daddies normally don't own up because they don't want to get paying that kitty child support. Bow ties. Well, I know it's the pattern that many transmitters put out down here, but that's for another show. Yeah, a bow tie. Never been much on bow ties. They do look good with a tuxedo. I mean, if you're going to wear a tuxedo, you wear a bow tie. I think it looks great. I love tuxedos. And it's funny because in my life, I've never wore a tuxedo. I always thought one day before I die, I just want to go rent a tuxedo and wear it. I want to find a reason to wear a tuxedo. Yeah, I mean, I like dressing every day in my uniform and going to work. I enjoyed it. I like to look good. I ironed and starched my own shirts. I put on all my own pins. I had these boards that I would take, you know, the plastic that ID cards, you know, we would laminate our own ID cards back then. Well, I had boxes of those plastics. I would take those plastics and run them through the laminator with no card in them. It was just clear. And then I had all my pins. I had like 6 or 8 awards. I had 2 pins on top. I had my name tag and my serving sense pin. All of that stuff got stuck into that plastic piece. Okay? And then once it's all stuck on there, I would cut all around it so that you didn't see the plastic. The plastic was all just behind the metal pins. So you couldn't see the plastic. All you could see was the shirt and the pins. And then when it was time to go to work, I would take that wad of pins that are stuck through that piece of plastic and just stick it on the shirt and push it through and spin it over and stick all my pins on the back like this, all my clutch pins on the back. And that's how I did it that way for years, because I was anal about those pins being absolutely straight. There was a rule on exactly how they had to be worn, how they had to touch each other, they had to be lined up perfectly. And if you're doing that on a shirt and you're just using nothing but the shirt and you're putting them all on manually every day, number one, they will never look right. They'll never be straight. They'll never be flat. And when you lean over, they'll bend in the middle and they won't look right. You got to use something in the back to make them flat. And then that goes through the shirt. Some of the guys that only had 3 or 4 pins just had a plastic piece that would go behind, and they would stick the pins through holes that were already there. But once you got 6 or 8 or 10, award ribbons, it got to the point where that was too much of a pain in the ass. And I didn't wear them all. Like if I was going in for a regular duty shift, I just wore my name tag, my badge, and my two rank, my lieutenant or my captain bars, whatever I was wearing at the time, on my collar. That's it. But if it was a dress occasion, like we were going to a school, I would go to my locker and get my dress uniform. And when we got to the place, I would put my dress uniform on, and the sleeves were starched flat. All you could see was half of the patch, because the patch was folded in half and it was starched flat. And it looked like little tents on your arm. Yeah. I mean, everything. The epaulets, we would cut the stitches out and then we would starch them flat, so that when you lifted your arm, the epaulette would actually lift up. It would be like stiff. Trust me, man, we looked nice in our uniforms. We had the long jackets with the stripes on the arm, and with the bigger badge on the jacket, and the double-breasted buttons down the front. Yeah. I still have the hat. I still have the jacket. I still have the pants with the stripe. I still have all the pins, the badges, the awards, the medals. I still have every bit of it, guys, because it was so important to me back then that I kept it all. I did. And there you go. The gig line, man. If that gig line wasn't straight, that was a problem. Oh, I had a Led Zeppelin t-shirt and a Pink Floyd t-shirt, too. Oh, man. I never got into patterned shirts. I've never worn patterned shirts in my life. It's one of those weird things. I'm one of those people that either I did it or I didn't. Never got into patterned shirts. I've always wore like plain shirts with maybe a stripe or two or something, but gig for Ian, gig for Bean. I love it. Yep. Yeah, I could dress up as a fire chief for Halloween, and I'd probably have the best costume at the party. It'd be realistic as shit. Moss ate your shirts. That sucks. All right, let me make sure I got everything covered here. Okay, one last story. One last story here, and it's about time to sign off. It's 10:45 on the East Coast, 7:45 on the left coast. This is StarShip Adventures. My name's Ian, and it's time for our last story of the night here. One of America's oldest beer brands discontinued after 177 years in the United States. Anybody know which one? Oh, don't Google it. That's cheating. It's called Schlitz Premium. Now, my dad always said Schlitz was moose piss, but I don't know for sure because I've never tasted it, nor would I know what moose piss tastes like. But anyway, long story short, Schlitz Premium is heading into retirement after nearly 2 centuries. Confirmed the iconic brand is being put on hiatus, possibly permanently. One of America's most dominant beer brands is being discontinued after more than 175 years. Schlitz Premium, a beer brand that traces its roots to Milwaukee in 1940 and was once among the largest breweries in the country, is being put on hiatus. Parent company Pabst Brewing Company says on Friday, after Wisconsin Brewing Company announced it would brew the brand's final batch later this month. Unfortunately, we have seen continued increases in our cost to store, to ship, and everything we do, the price has gone up. It's a tough choice to place Schlitz Premium on hiatus, according to the Pabst head of brand strategy, the statement in the Milwaukee Magazine. Any brand or packaging configuration that is put on hiatus is still a cherished part of our history and hopefully our future. We continually look for opportunities to bring back these beloved brands that we put on hiatus, and customer feedback is important in shaping those decisions. The Schlitz brand became famous for a long-time slogan, "The beer that made Milwaukee famous," and was once the nation's largest brewery before Anheuser-Busch overtook that in 1950. The company was originally founded in 1949 after August Krug opened a tavern brewery in Milwaukee. Joseph Schlitz later took over the business after marrying Krug's widow and helped transform it into one of the world's largest beer brands. Schlitz rose in prominence after the Great Chicago Fire in 1871, when the brewery shipped beer to Chicago as residents struggled to access clean drinking water. We didn't send water, though. We sent beer. I will tell you, after Charlie and after a lot of these big storms, I actually, in my closet in there, I have cans of water from Anheuser-Busch. It's a white can. It says compliments of Anheuser-Busch drinking water. Yeah. We had millions of them down there. They were throwing them out. And I took a few. And I also got a few bottles that were from, I think they were from Anheuser-Busch also. They were literally bottling water and sending it down. That's how desperate it was after Charlie. These companies were literally, they would run their factory for 4 hours just bottling water and throw it all in 2 trucks and send it down to Florida City and Homestead in South Miami. Schlitz began losing popularity in the 70s after cost-cutting recipe changes altered the beer's flavor. The brand was later sold to Stroh's Brewing in 1982 before Pabst acquired it in 99. The brewmaster at Wisconsin Brewing Company said the company wanted to give a historic beer brand a proper farewell after learning production was ending. We decided that Schlitz, being what Schlitz was, it deserved a proper send-off, one with dignity and respect. Wisconsin Brewing Company said its plans to brew the last Schlitz at its Verona, Wisconsin brewery on May 23rd, with a limited release scheduled for June 27. Milwaukee area bars and breweries are also planning farewell events tied to the final batches. So they're literally going to make all these final batches the last couple days and make sure that they get into all these bars that have been selling their products for years. I think that's great. I think that's a great idea. All right, so there you go. So that will be the end of Schlitz beer after 177 years. What do you guys think about that? Disco will never die. I love disco. When I was young, when I was like 8, 9, 12, 15, disco was in its heyday in the late 70s, early 80s, and I loved disco. And my Uncle Steve, I would go up and hang out with, I would literally go up and stay with my Aunt Penny and my Uncle Steve up in their Plant City farm and go out and milk the goats and get the eggs and feed the cows and do all the things that I used to do. And it was great. I loved it. And, yeah. My uncle hated disco. He wouldn't let me play it in his house. He hated it so bad. And I liked it. Deploribus, you're correct. If the one thing in that whole story is every time one of these companies sees a decline, it's because they cheapened the beer. Yep. Yes, Trump had a great night tonight. That's correct. Just about I think every candidate that Trump backed somebody against lost. Everybody Trump backed won. So there you go. Yeah, well, I never trusted Nomad either, and if you want to know the truth, I never would have brought that thing inside my ship. Rule number 1, don't beam shit into the ship. That should be hanging on the wall in there. Okay, transporter room rules. Number 1, don't beam shit that you have no control over onto your ship. Number 2, if you're going to beam it on the ship, you leave it behind a level 10 force field on the transporter pad, so that way you can get rid of it. Don't let this thing walk around. Of course, I think it was going to do whatever it wanted to do anyway. Isn't it kind of cheesy that they kind of stole the plot line from The Changeling, which is the episode you're just talking about? Didn't think I knew that. They changed the episode from The Changeling, and they made it the first movie. Now, granted, it's different, but it's the same concept. One of our probes goes out and combines with a more intelligent probe from somewhere else, and it forms this being that ends up wanting to return to Earth and find the creator. I mean, yeah, the mechanics are different, but the plot's the same. No nukes going off. It's fairly quiet. It's fairly quiet. I think I've covered everything, guys. Space weather-wise, giant sunspot. There is a big, huge sunspot on the other side of the sun. And it's the craziest thing. There's this huge-ass sunspot, and it was firing off X flares and M flares and everything. It's just about to turn around so we can start to see it, and it's quieted down. So this could be a quiet period before another active period, or it could be winding down. We don't know. But in the next few days, this giant sunspot that's been crossing the far side of the sun now for a week is going to eventually come around on the other side. And it will come around on the eastern limb, and we will see it. It is a genuine decrease in activity, or is it the calm before the storm? We'll have to find out. The sunspot turns towards Earth later this week. And tonight was the second night of that sky show out there. Venus, Jupiter, and the crescent moon are all lined up out there right now. Okay, and that's what we've got for space weather. All right, let's do a last call. The Bee Gees. I remember the Bee Gees. I love that movie, The Martian, and there's a lot of fun disco in that movie, because if you remember, which this is unplausible, but it was funny for the movie. You're telling me that they didn't have all the music known to man up there? I mean, you can store every song known to man right now on about 2 thumb drives. I can't believe that 30 years in the future, whenever that Martian movie was made, that they would not have had all the music available up there. Just like in Star Trek, you just ask the computer to call up a piece of music and it plays. But in the movie, if you remember, the fun part was the only one of them up there that had music was, I think it was Johansson, had the music up there, and it was all disco. Every bit of it was disco. And so you hear disco music through the whole movie, which I thought was a clever way to get to be able to pay lower royalty rates because they're older songs. Didn't think about that, did you? But that may not be why they did it, but it's fun to think about. But anyway, I think that one of the neat things about that movie is all that old disco music. I love that there's a bread company named Bimbo. It'd be funny if there was a peanut butter company called Dingbat. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, the holodeck. Yeah, they're already building the predecessor to the holodeck. They're already working on it. They've already got rooms now where the entire room is a screen. And when you stand in there, you're basically in a circular screen. And the way they do it, they can still blow air and things in there, and they can give you the impression that you're really riding a bike, or that you're really moving, or you're really flying. We're working on this. It's getting there. Make Klingons great again. Well, it depends on which Klingons you're talking about. Those morning ones suck. Okay. Last call for the chat room. There you go. I wore those knee-high sports socks with the stripes on top. I had those when I was a kid. I think we all did, didn't we? At least all of us old ones. Life was simple back then. I mean, when you think about the difference between when you were 12 years old and you were riding your bike to school or whatever, I don't know that I'd let my kid ride their bike to school today. I don't know. I guess I would. I don't know. Wasn't the main character on the Revenge of the Nerds, his name was Skolnick, wasn't it? I forget his first name. That was his last name, I think. And I just want to remind you guys that that robot is still going. He's plugged into the wall, so which means he can run until a part fails. He can run until a part fails. We can run this distribution center 24 hours a day. I'm telling you, this is some crazy shit. Uh-oh, what happened? Uh-oh. Is this some kind of reset or something? Oh, here he goes. Some kind of test procedure or something. Why has no one dressed one of these up like the RoboCop yet? That's what I want to know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. He's like... He's daydreaming like he's riding a motorcycle. Come on, butthole, get back to work. Here we go. There we go. It looks weird because if you look right at him for a few minutes, you start to think that could be a person inside that, but it's not. You can clearly see there's no abdomen. Oh. Weird Science was all right. It was never my favorite movie for some reason. There you go. He got that one. Encino Man. I remember that one too. And Biodome. Stupid, crazy movies like that. I don't like superhero movies, but I'm glad you guys do, and by all means they should make some good ones. I know they've made a lot of woke shit lately. All right, guys, last call for the chat room. Had a good crowd in tonight. I do appreciate everybody coming in for our Tuesday night edition. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian. First Adventures in Babysitting. I remember that vaguely. Oh, I know. Yeah, I can imagine. I was hormonal, but not near as hormonal as some of my friends were. My God, they led around by their dick. I don't know. I wanted it, but my God, I wouldn't sell my soul for it. You miss G.I. Joe?
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
I got that on my button bar. Yeah, buddy. All right, let me do one quick check. Make sure the world's not coming to an end before I sign off. Yep, and just to re-mention again, the Trump-backed Navy SEAL vet delivers a major blow to Massie. Trump calls Massie the worst Republican congressman in history, and he lost tonight. There's been a number of different candidates tonight that did well, and they're all the ones that Trump endorsed. I think Trump's doing a little better than people give him credit for. They had a whole string of victories tonight, and here I'm pulling it up now. Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, Pennsylvania, Idaho, Oregon. Trump scores a victory and primary defeat for Thomas Massie, which I just mentioned. Socialist State Rep Chris Rabb wins Pennsylvania primary. See, this is great. When these Democrats run radical socialists, that's good. When they elect idiots like Kami Memdami to be the mayor of New York, that's actually a good thing. Because the more radical the left gets, the less aligned and the less in touch they are with the people that make the decision, the middle 20%. Georgia Senate primary heads to a runoff with Mike Collins still alive. The Democrats think Massie is going to go over and be a Democrat. I don't think so. He's just a stubborn Republican. That doesn't make him a Democrat. It just makes him a stubborn Republican. What is it with Luke Skywalker and Harrison Ford and all these different... What is it with these people going completely off the deep end? Now, Harrison Ford's urging action to prevent mass extinction. Mass extinction? What's he talking about? He received a honorary degree for conservation work and urged cultural change to prevent global warming. The God blessed climate people at the UN just came out not a week ago and said, hey, yeah, all that stuff, yeah, No. Yeah, no. No. Harrison Ford urges Arizona State graduates to extend social justice, prevent mass extinction. He's nuts. This guy's nuts. He did better when he was running through pyramids. Harrison Ford told graduates at Arizona State to extend social justice, to clean up the environmental mess his generation left behind for them. Oh, boo-hoo. He gave the commencement speech during the graduation ceremony on May 11th, where he received an honorary Doctor of Arts and Human Letters degree for his work in conservation. His work in conservation against global warming, which we now know is complete bullshit. Ford's background in fighting climate change, he must have did a great job because it didn't happen, was a significant, maybe he fought it with his whip or his laser gun. He warned students repeatedly during the speech about the need for cultural change to prevent mass extinction events caused by corruption and global warming. How many of their corruption and global warming events have happened? How many of their cataclysmic events have happened? None of them. Here we go again. Humanity is part of nature. We're not above it, according to Ford. We have an essential mandate to protect 30% of the world's land and sea by 2030, to prevent the mass extinction, to slow the warming of our planet. Well, I got news for you. 30% of this world is not occupied. Newsflash. Still, despite new science, new policies, we're still losing nature to profiteering, corruption, conflict, including land that is already protected on paper. These efforts matter, but they're just not enough. The earth is going to die. He continued, we need cultural change. We need to extend social justice. What does that even mean? Extend social justice. Any idea? He wants to extend social justice. These communities have long understood that the trees and the mountains and the water and the soil are not commodities. They're relative to be cherished. Yes, of course. Of course. We don't need you doing it. We've reduced emissions without all the regulation and the carbon offset credits. We've done enough already. The planet's fine. Jesus, people. You want to save the planet? Go out on the interstate with a stick and pick up garbage. Get that Indian to stop crying. Ford encouraged graduates and members of their generation to go out and change the world after acknowledging that past generations, including his left, has left the world in a mess. We can all play a role by embracing the wisdom in our day-to-day lives, by loving the planet, by honoring nature's authority, her generosity, the bounty she's afforded us, the justice of her example, because the world you're stepping into, the world my generation left you, is a real mess, cried Ford. He added, your generation has far more power than you may realize, and if you harness, same thing. That power, if you find your leadership, you issue the voice, the world will not be able to ignore you anymore. This is just pathetic. And then he rails against Trump. I'm not even going to get into that. He rails against Trump. Jesus God. You know, he was doing much better flying between here and Alderaan, if you want to know the truth. Where does this guy get off? I'm not, here's the thing. Is there negative effects on the earth? Yes. All the hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions at this point, that have been spent to prevent global warming, has any of that made a difference? Has all that money that we spent made a difference? Is all that damage to our economy made a difference? And I say yes, it has made a small difference, but nothing that would make any significant difference in the future. You know what's made the bigger difference? We're transitioning into a 21st century economy. Places are cleaning it up, not because they're being told to clean it up, but because it's better for them if they clean it up. Things are happening. The earth is changing. The earth seems to be able to counteract any of the effects that we put out there. We thought for years that our cars were killing the planet. We got more cars today than we've ever got. And, not really. Not so much. That's not really what we're seeing. All right, here's our new thunderstorm warning. Boy, that's a big mess right there. Let's get a closer shot of that. This could be, we talk about this, but this is a bow echo right here. That's probably a bow echo, and it's going to have winds moving off in this direction pretty strong. So if you're out in front of this thing, you're going to get a good 60 or 80 mile an hour wind gust with this possibly. This could be a bow echo. Anytime we see that shape in radar like that on a front, it's a push of energy, and it could relate back to some really strong winds. Thorndale and Thrall and Taylor just went through it, and Parkdale, you're next. Lexington coming up. It is not tornado warned. It is only severe thunderstorm warned at this point. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. It's now 11:15. I've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I got to get going. I got to grab something to eat here. But we'll see you guys later. It's been fun tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Special thanks to my moderators and my members out there, and to our regulars. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll hit it again. I'm going to see what I can find on these fires. If we get one that's getting big, these aren't that big yet, comparatively speaking. As they get bigger, I'll start trying to either put up secondary feeds with scanners and stuff, or I'll also we'll do some live coverage on here of it as well. Dreadnought, well, you're always welcome. Welcome back. All right, everybody. Have a great evening out there. I'll leave the chat room on for about 6 or 8 minutes, as I always do. We'll play a song. We'll play the closer. We'll be out. We'll see you guys later. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on StarShip Adventures. My name's Ian, and it's been my pleasure to broadcast to you tonight. I hope that you've had a good time, and I hope this is something that you enjoy. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on StarShip Adventures. 7 3s, everybody. 7 3s.
Listen up, Patriots from the mountains to the shore, this is a story of a man who settled the score. Donald Trump, the warrior, standing tall against the red, fighting communism's grip, keeping freedom ahead. He took a bullet for us, fist raised in the fight. Liberals hate him fierce, cause he's always right. Successful and strong, handling storms like a boss, kicking socialism's tail. America's gained their loss. He raised that mighty wall, 400 miles of steel, kept the invaders out, made the border real. 7 million jobs blooming like fields in the spring. Unemployment crushed low, hear the workers sing. Tax cuts for the folks, no more chains on your pay, tips and overtime free, lighting up the way, energy flowing free, drilling deep in the ground, affordable fuel for all, turning greens upside down. Oh, Donald Trump, crushing a communist snake, making America great. For heaven's sake, he took a bullet for freedom, stood up from the dirt. Liberals see them squirm cause it hurts. He's right, he's winning, handling every blow, from riots to fraud, putting on a show. God bless the USA, land of the brave and true. Trump's our guardian, red, white, and blue. Space Force Command, yeah, sharp as a blade. Genesis mission launching, cancer's getting slayed. Trade deals locked tight, tariffs hitting them square. No more endless wars, peace filling the air. Syria chains broken, freedom ringing out loud. Global alliance is strong, making tyrants bow. Western shield solid, security's the key. No room for socialists in this land of the free. Oh, Donald Trump, crushing the communist snake, making America great. For heaven's sake, he took a bullet for freedom, stood up from the dirt. Liberals see them squirm cause it hurts. He's right, he's winning, handling every blow, from riots to fraud, putting on the show. God bless the USA, land of the brave and true. Trump's our guardian, red, white, and blue. In Minnesota shadows, fraud running deep and wide, Somali schemes stealing billions, no place to hide. Tampon Tim dancing blind, letting crooks run the game, but Trump's calling them out, lighting justice's flame. Fake meals for ghosts, daycare doors bolted shut, healthcare highs bleeding us. Enough's enough, protests gone wild, anti-law fools in the street, banging pipes like cowards, facing defeat. You better snag that Nobel for peace, he's the man, bringing freedom worldwide, crushing tyrants' plan. From Iran's dark storms to borders under siege, Trump's kicking tail, hard turning page after page. Liberals despise him cause he's spot on and bold, successful as thunder, breaking their hold, handling every curveball from fraud to the fight. Patriot hate thunder, lighting up the night. Dems crumbling fast, losing the working man's trust. High prices tumbling, their dreams turn to dust. Genesis health reforms, chronic ills on the run. Toxic dyes banished, victories one by one. No kings, hypocrites, cheering dictators' chains. Gays back in Hamas, twisted insane. Trump exposes the right, makes them look like the fools, fighting socialism's grip with unbreakable tools. Oh, Donald Trump, crushing the communist snake making America great. For heaven's sake, he took a bullet for freedom, stood up from the dirt, liberal seat, then squirm 'cause it hurts. He's right, he's winning, handling every blow, from riots to fraud, putting on the show. God bless the USA, land of the brave and true. Trump's our guardian, red, white, and blue. Yeah, red, white, and blue. Forever true.
This is the YouTube channel StarShip Adventures, broadcasting live from StarShip Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. StarShip Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on StarShip Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is StarShip Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra. Signing off. QSY 7-3s, everyone. 7-3s.